Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And as I've been on Instagram, we'll be talking about all that has been happening to me in the past few months. So you guys, your girl survived a broken ankle by the grace of God. Like, no jokes. My ankle was broken for a period of 1 month before they fixed it, or rather something like that. But so this video will be divided into two parts or three parts. The first part will be the events leading up to the the first part will be the events leading up to the broken ankle. The second part will be the period of the broken ankle, when the ankle was in a cast and all of that. And the third part will be the recovery. So after the ankle came out of the cast, the physiotherapy and all of that, and all of that, how long it took, and I'll try my best to be as accurate as possible. You do not need the accuracy, but I'll try my best to be as accurate as possible. Now, why am I doing this video? This video is to show you, number one, God is great, God is faithful, God is amazing. And number two, this video is to show you that no matter what condition you are in, if you want to do something, you can still do it. And number three, this video is to tell you that not everything you see on the internet is true. Yeah. And number four, be there for your friends. Check up on them, be there for them. If your friends are going through stuff, try as much as possible to show up and be there. Don't just be that passive friend, you know what? Yeah, let's get into it. So let's get into part one. So part one is basically the events that led up to the broken ankle. So that fateful Sunday, I went to church, I left the house, as usual. I went up the hill, and I live on a hilly path. If you are very cognizant with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you know that it's filled with hills and valleys. So I live on a rocky path, and that day I went up the same rocky path I've been going up and down of for the past 2-3 years, and nothing has ever happened. So fast forward to later that afternoon, I went by my church parents. I had to wash and stuff, so I washed, and I had to go to a movie with my friends. So we went to the movies, and night time I was ready to go home. So I had a bag of clothes on my head, like a typical Nigerian girl that I am. So I had a bag of clothes on my head, and then I was going down the hill, happy. Actually even called a friend, spoke with them, and then I continued my journey. Now, take note, I was not wearing heels, okay? Because lots of people seem to think that it's because I was wearing heels that I slipped or whatever. But I was not wearing heels. I was wearing the same flats I always wore going down the hill. So going down the hill, next thing I know, my right foot slipped, and it seemed like my left foot twisted around to the back. I honestly, up till now, I cannot understand what exactly happened, but it just felt like the foot twisted around to the back, and I fell down. Falling down now, I remembered that morning the guys had anyway, had taken gravel down the road, down the hill. Now when they took the gravel down the hill, they did not sweep the hill. Obviously they never do that, right? And of course they didn't know that Blessing would break her foot, so why should they sweep? But they did not sweep. So this was me. Let's just say I fell down, and then I tried to get up. I mean, it's not the first time I had fallen on the hill. I live there, right? So come on, I always fall and I get up. So I tried to get up as usual. Guess what? I could not get up for the life of me. So I was there, and then pain like joke hits me. My people, your girl started speaking in tongues. So I was on the ground. I could not sit, I could not stand, I could not do anything. Before I knew it, I started crying. Nobody was passing. Like on a normal day, you see guys up the hill and stuff like that, but it was 11 p.m. and everybody was already inside. That was weird for one, but nobody was passing, so I didn't even know who to ask for help. I didn't know if to scream so that people can hear me and, you know, run out and stuff like that. So I did the next best thing. I called my friend, and of course, in matters like this, you have to call somebody who has strength. So I called a guy, and he was like, okay, he's coming. You guys, while waiting for my friend to come, I can assure you that I could not sit, I could not stand. I just had to, I don't know how to explain it. I had to kind of like, so my left foot was broken, so the left foot could not touch the ground. So let's say my left foot was suspended in the air for good 20 minutes, no, 15-20 minutes before my friend came. So that somehow I was sitting, but my left foot was not touching the ground, and I was crying because it was very painful. Now this pain was such that I started speaking in tongues. Like I just had to pray, like, God please help me, you know, that kind of thing. I was just speaking in tongues, and then it started to rain. I'm like, Jesus, who did I offend? I had an umbrella, luckily. So this was me under the umbrella saying, God, please let this rain not be serious. How am I going to deal with rain? And I had stuff. So I had my handbag, which was open because it can't. You know how we women are these days. We no longer close our handbags fully. But anyway, the handbag could not close fully. So I had to have the handbag, then hold the umbrella, then hold my foot. In fact, let's just say I don't know how that went. But all I know is that I just sat there and I just kept speaking in tongues and praying that, you know, somebody should come or my friend should come, something. You guys, if I say I haven't passed through the pain that I passed through that night before, I might be lying. So let's just say that it was very painful, and I really wish that didn't happen. So anyways, fast forward to my friend came. It was time to stand up. So my house was still a good distance from where the incident happened. So my friend asked me, do you want to go to the house or do you want to go to the hospital? I reasoned this thing and I thought about it, and I'm like, if I go to the house and the next day I have to go to the hospital because I might still not be able to, you know, put the foot on the ground, that means I have to find a way to go all the way from the house up the hill. So I made a decision. I said, let's go to the hospital. Now, I could not walk. So between him and the taxi guy, they had to support me. He even sprained his waist, his hips in the process because all of my weight was on him. Guys, it was too painful. Oh God. When I think about it now, I'm close to tears, but it was too painful. So my weight was on him. Anyways, somehow we managed to get up the hill. Now, time to enter the car, another drama. Because how are you going to sit down? How are you going to hold your foot? All of that. I honestly cannot remember that car incident. But somehow we made it to the hospital. Reaching the hospital now, they have to bring a wheelchair because I can't walk. Wheelchair or not, my foot was not touching the ground. Like, I just could not touch the foot on the ground. And it didn't click that it was a fracture I had. I just could not figure out what was happening. I just felt it was just pain and, you know. So, when we got to the hospital, luckily for me, I was able to see a doctor fast enough. Then they asked what happened, all of that. I narrated the story, blah, 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 blah. So they said, I have to do an x-ray. So I'm like, okay, x-ray, good idea, you know. Then I went to do an x-ray. The x-ray tech happened to be my sister. So she was like, you broke 2 bones, your fibula and your medial malleolus. At first I was like, it's just a break, you know. When they showed me the x-ray, I may or I may not be attaching the x-ray to this video. When they showed me the x-ray, guys, I could not believe that simple incident caused that amount of like breakage. Like my fibula bone was broken. Let's say this is the bone. No, let's say this is the bone, right? And then it was broken, and it broke like this. So it did not even break straight. It broke like this. But the good thing about it was that the bone was not sticking out of my skin. I was not even feeling it, like maybe something is choking me or something. But I knew that something was wrong because I could not put the foot on the ground. So the doctors gave me medication. They said, put the foot in something we call a back slab. I don't know if I have a picture of the back slab. If I do, I'll attach it to this video. So put the foot in something we call a back slab, and gave me pain medications, and I now had to make a decision of where I was going to sleep, because I could not go down that hill for nothing that night. I mean, I felt that subsequently I would be able to go down that hill. But let me tell you something, up till today, since that incident, when did this incident happen? October 31st, 2022. Up till today, since that incident, I haven't been able to go down that hill. I haven't even mustered the courage. It's like this huge mountain that I cannot conquer. But by God's grace, everything is possible. Anyway, so that's the end of part 1. See you in part 2, where we'll be talking about my referral to orthopedics, how that went, and I even got hospitalized. But calm down, we will get there. So thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, whatever. And remember, God is faithful. He never leaves you nor forsakes you. He is God. All right.